Welcome to Bible Storytime, and thank you for joining us. Today we bring to life one of the most iconic stories in all of Scripture, the battle between a boy with a sling and a giant with a sword. This is the story of David and Goliath. The armies of Israel were frozen in fear. For 40 days, a giant named Goliath stepped onto the battlefield. Towering over men wrapped in bronze armor, his spear like a weaver's beam, his voice like thunder. He stood over 9 feet tall, the champion of the Philistines. Every morning and every evening, he issued a challenge. Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he can fight me and kill me, we will become your servants. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become ours. No one moved. Not a single man in Saul's army stepped forward. Not even Saul himself, Israel's king, who stood a head taller than the rest. Meanwhile, in the hills of Bethlehem, David, the youngest son of Jesse, was tending sheep. His hands knew the shape of a sling. His heart knew the voice of God. One morning, his father sent him with bread and grain to deliver to his older brothers on the front lines. David arrived as Goliath was once again shouting insults at Israel. He watched, confused, as the soldiers shrank back in fear. He heard the giant mock the living God. "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine," David said, "that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His brother scolded him. "You're just a boy. Go back to the sheep." But David's words reached the ears of King Saul, who summoned him. David stood before the king, young, unarmored, unafraid. "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul looked at him and said, "You are only a boy, and he has been a warrior since his youth." But David replied, "I have killed both the lion and the bear while protecting my father's sheep. This Philistine will be like one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this giant." So Saul said, "Go, and the Lord be with you." They tried to dress David in armor, Saul's own helmet, coat, and sword, but it didn't fit. David removed it all. He would not fight like a soldier. He would fight like a shepherd, depending not on metal or strength, but on the God who had never failed him. He walked to the stream, bent down and picked up 5 smooth stones. Then he approached the giant. Goliath saw him coming and laughed. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come here and I will feed your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." But David didn't flinch. "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin," he shouted back. "But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. It is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's." Then he ran toward the giant. 1 stone, 1 sling, 1 shot. The stone flew through the air and struck Goliath in the forehead. The giant's eyes went wide, and he fell face down to the ground with a thundering crash. The Philistines froze. The Israelites gasped. The boy had done what no warrior dared. He had slain the champion. David rushed forward, took Goliath's own sword, and cut off his head. And with that, the army of Israel surged forward with a shout. The Philistines fled. What had begun with fear ended in victory, not by might, not by power, but by faith. David, the shepherd boy, had trusted in the Lord when no one else would. And that faith changed everything. This is not just a story of courage, it is a story of where courage comes from. Not in how strong we are, but in how deeply we trust the God who fights for us. Because when you stand in faith, you don't just fight for yourself, you inspire generations. David didn't just defeat a giant, he awakened courage in a nation, and today, that same spirit lives in anyone willing to trust God beyond their fear. So when your moment comes, step forward like David, with nothing but a stone and unshakable faith. Because the battle is not yours alone. The battle belongs to the Lord. Thank you for watching Bible Storytime. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. These ancient stories still breathe life, because the same God who helped David still stands with us today. And remember, no matter how big the giant, no matter how small you feel, with God on your side, victory is never out of reach.